Welcome to some more fans. My name is Composite Enerjoe, and today I'll be bringing you my review of the Transformers Beast Wars Transmetals 2 Ultra Class Tigerhawk. And here he is in his beast mode, which is an asymmetrical mechanical Tiger Hawk hybrid. Yeah, he's got a pretty convenient name. But jokes aside, here he is in his beast mode, which is really cool. It's a very nicely made beast mode, fairly accurate to the show, which is really nice. It's always a plus, and chock full of nice bits of details, both mechanical and organic, and just very cool looking. Very nice. Got a nice white tiger head, which is really cool. And yeah, just overall, it's a very nice looking beast mode. Now, for articulation, this is a beast mode. His arms can go forward, back. Well, his what do you call it? The forelimbs, the forelegs. Yeah, the forelegs can go forward, back, in and out, and kind of moves there. Kind of has a swivel here, but that's about it. Oh, the paw can kind of go up and down. Oh no, and there is a bend at this knee, elbow. Doesn't matter. He has a hinge there for some articulation. The back legs can go forward, back. That's it. You have another hinge there, another hinge here, and the claws are actually are a bit weird. There is a hinge here for the claws, but as you can tell, it's spring-loaded. It's a nice little feature where if you push this button, he grabs on to whatever's there. So he has a claw grasping feature, which is really cool. And the head doesn't move. However, his mouth, his jaw opens, and I don't know if I can get this in thing, but the tongue is also a bit articulated, which is a nice little detail. It's cool. His blue tongue here is articulated. I think color scheme wise, it's almost show accurate, except I think he's missing some purple. I think the blue is supposed to be purple in the show. But still, I think I like this blue version too. Oh, as you can see, if you move it around, he does have a little cockpit here on this sort of gem area. I'll explain later as to what this was supposed to be, because this doesn't do anything. I don't even think it's even in the show, but it doesn't do anything in the figure. It just sort of moves. I'll explain later what that potentially could have been. And yeah, articulation-wise, that's pretty much it. It's not that much, but it's one of those, it's good enough for how big it is, especially since it actually has a couple more features. Like other Transmetals, he does technically have a third form, but it's more of a mode. He has like a battle mode, which is done like this. You lift these up, make sure that's closed. And you see a little lever here. Like a lever here that you push forward, which I won't do yet. Because before that, you have to pull out this helmet and cover it over the head. And doing so actually gives him no articulation. Technically, he can go up and down. But, and this is honestly how I prefer displaying him in beast mode with the helmet on. Because it just looks better, and I like him better that he's facing forward instead of, facing down. Always looks weird. But yeah, you have this cool little sort of falcon helmet that sort of completes the hybridization. And you get to bust out his attack mode, which is you push this forward and then the wings come down and flip up the guns. There we go. And if I hadn't lost his missiles, the missiles would also fire at the same time. But we're not over. Oh, it's not over yet. Oh, these wing pits can also flip up, which could represent sort of the hairs on the back of on their backs, like lifting up. That might be what's replicating. You can also push forward on these switches here to flip out these wings. And again, if I had the missiles, just rubber bits. If I had the missiles, they would either fire automatically or you would fire them from here. So this would be his battle mode or attack mode or assault mode or whatever you want to call it. But this is technically his third mode. And just to point it out, he does have wheels here for some reason, which I'll also explain later because that's something to do with the cockpit. So yeah, that's his battle mode, and that's pretty much it for his beast mode. You lift these up, there we go, to lock it into place, and then I like folding down these wings because it makes sure that these don't just fall down on their own. Because if you push this forward, it doesn't trigger this, which is a very nice. I don't know. Let's say if you fold it down, it prevents these things from just going off on their own. Come on. There we go. Okay, now on with the transformation. So, how do I approach this? It's first thing, and I already showed off that his other features that he has on each foot. Spring-loaded feet, which I guess we just do that first. So first thing, I guess we'll lower this down. Oh, no, not yet. Fold this back up to reveal the heel spurs and his robot mode feet, and push this down. Now we have his legs, believe it or not. His legs are all the way up here. Same thing here, fold down, down. And then I remember, you pop this forward, like so. Go in here, lift this piece up, and then pull forward. And then you, what's the next? Oh yeah, then you come over here and fold this out. And then the legs here, the behind legs, you just fold up like so. Like so. And then this part you just fold out. Carefully, obviously, but you fold out. You straighten out the legs. The transformation is a bit weird at first, but it's not too bad. Then you rotate this way, this entire piece. And to show this off, this is the only way you can see his spark crystal here. There's his maximal spark crystal, which I think all Transmetal 2s had. And this is the only way you would see it, because when you complete the transformation, it just goes into this. Then you fold up the head, and you bring this entire piece back. These pieces lifted up. Come on. Not supposed to be like this. Come on. Lift up. I guess you have to angle these. Angle these up. Angle these up, and then flip up head, and then it should go in. Come on, you gotta finagle this a bit. It has to be like this. Put it like that. Make sure it lines up, and then because this piece will then. What am I doing here? What am I doing wrong here? It's supposed to be like this. There we go. And then when you angle this properly, it'll go in. There we go. When it's all lined up, you'll be able to pull this down and then peg this into here, and this keeps it locked in place. Same thing on the other side. And then that's it for his, whoa. Come on. I think that's it for his upper half. And then you can either have his arm be like this. No, actually you can't. You have to then feed the helmet part into the Tigerhawk tiger head and have it be like this, because this is how you move it. It gives articulation. This is what you're supposed to do, like that. Then when that's locked into place, you lift this up. You start collapsing all of this together. It just sort of comes together when you line it up. Then this will peg into there to hold it in place. Like so, like so. Make sure all of this is lined up. Still feel like there's something wrong here. No, it's supposed to be like that. And then the head reveal. And then the wings. Do what you want with them. I kind of have them forward to make them a little less top heavy. And let me just eyeball this, because I think that's it. You can also display the wings out to add a little more of a silhouette. I still like them forward. And you know, for now we'll just push him back so you can see his articulation. So yeah, so here is, make sure that's down, bend at the knee. And yes, this is Tigerhawk in his, yeah, like I say, he is a bit top heavy. There we go. In his robot mode. Here he is, and he looks pretty darn cool. as a maximal symbol here, where the crest, where his crest would be in the inside. And yeah, these pegs are a little loose on mine, so just be aware on your figures. So yeah, here's Tigerhawk in his robot mode, and he looks pretty darn cool. Like I said, he's pretty accurate to the show, to how his appearance on the show is. However, the color scheme is a bit off, because I think in blue it's supposed to be purple instead. Like a lightish purple color. So check out the head sculpt, very nice looking, very fierce. Love the visor and the red and like the orange eyes, it's a really nice touch. He's got a lot of details, both fur, mechanical, and organical, and all that stuff. And for articulation, his head is on a not on a bulge. It's got a hinge there and then swivel. The arms can rotate 360. Both arms can rotate 360. Although there might be some sort of stuff in the way. This arm can hinge out. I mean, you can also have this extra hinge, but it's not supposed to unpeg there. But you have that extra movement if you unpeg it. There, and then a ball joint at the elbow, which gives you that range of movement. This side is pretty much the same. If not for this piece, he would have a hinge there. He has a hinge there, so he has that, and a ball joint at the elbow, so he has that range of movements. So yeah, so he's got pretty decent articulation. He doesn't have a waist, and if you lift this up, you can see his legs, which same as his forelegs in beast mode. In, out, forward, back, bend at the knee, and a little bit of movement at the leg. And these pistons also move when this moves. So it's like, I guess, Mecha Live before Mecha Live was Mecha Live. If you know your Revenge of the Fallen figures. So yeah, so that's his articulation. And the wings, it's the same as before. You swoop this forward, and same mechanics. You can like launch all of the same things. One interesting thing is that he does come with weapons, so if I lift these up, push it back, his cannons here can be removed, and he can hold them both in one hand, like so. And this would be his weapon. Would be this sort of double cannon thing, which is cool. I guess it's nice that these beast mode cannons are removable. Though I like to keep them on. There we go. I like keeping them on and have them be in there. There we go. But again, it's a nice option that you have for the character. So let me have them like this. So yeah, that's a Tigerhawk. Very cool, very nice bulky figure. And also fairly show accurate. Just a very solid figure all around. He's just solid. And with some pretty interesting little features and I guess some gimmicks as well too. The transformation wasn't too bad, you just might throw you off a little bit. Oh, and let's get on. And he also has a pretty good articulation in both modes. For size comparisons, here we have Cliff Jumper and Ratchet with his no, gotta fix the quarter. No. And there. And Ratchet with his quarter. It's a big feller. I think if you compare him to today's sizes, I believe an Ultra class is... I don't know about this one. I think he's almost leader class size, if not a smidge smaller. But yeah, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much my review for the figure. But I do have some sort of extra information I wanna explain, since he's a lot of a first for me. He's the first Transmetal 2 figure that I'm reviewing, and I want to explain what that is. Yeah, in the show, a Transmetals 2 were when some characters who were Transmetal and some who weren't would the idea is that a Transmetal character would mutate or upgrade further. And they would gain even more power, but at the cost of them looking like monsters, and in some cases acting like aggressive monsters too. If you watch the show, that's what happened to Cheetor when he became a Transmetal 2 and became that monster were cheetah. And yeah, so that's what a Transmetal 2 is. Now, Tigerhawk is unique is that he is the only, as far as I'm aware, he's the only Transmetal 2 Fusor. So he's a Transmetal 2 and he's also a Fusor because he's a combination of both a Tiger and a Falcon slash Hawk. And the story behind that is, if you watch the show, Tigerhawk was born when the bad guys from the end of season 1, an alien race called the Vok, came back and took the bodies of, I guess spoilers, the bodies of the two Maximals, Tigertron and Air Razor, and fused them into one super body, which is a Tigerhawk here. Which I think also explains why his name is so, I guess, simple. It's just Tigerhawk, and that's it. Nothing more than that. But, yeah, and I think in the show, he was considered, I think, one of the most powerful Transformers that appeared in the original Beast Wars. Like, he was up there. Like, he was super strong. And, yeah. I think that's, one other fact about the figure itself, and it has to do with the cockpit and those wheels, is that apparently he was supposed to have an original, like originally he was supposed to have a third vehicle mode, kind of, where he would use the wheels, you put them on his back, and the wheels and the cockpit. And apparently there were plans to put a little figure in that cockpit, but that was then dropped since they weren't going to do that with any other figure, and they decided just to say, oh, let's have his battle mode be his third mode, and just call it a day. Which I would have been curious to how that would have ended up with that third vehicle mode, but I'm kind of happy with what we have. I think this meshes better since no other character would have been like this. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. Oh, I guess one other thing is that this mold was later reused and repainted into the purple and black Razor Claw later in the Transformers Universe line. And that's it. So yeah, overall, solid, great figure. He'd be even more impressive if he had all of his missiles, because they would really fill out all these little gaps. And yeah, so this has been my review of the Transformers Beast Wars Transmetals 2 Ultra Class Tigerhawk. This is Composite Enerjoe signing off. Peace out.